your T20 debut was a bit of a damp squib in the end, but you've made up for it tonight.
Yeah, it was a long time coming, that T20 debut, so I was pretty happy to get the hat. And then the rain sort of dampened the mood, so pretty special win tonight and extra special to wrap up the series.
What was the sort of feeling like throughout the innings? Obviously, it was hard work out there. It was probably a trickier pitch than perhaps a few people would have thought and stuff like that. But were you confident when you're going out there, or did you have to sort of start a bit nervy and get through it? And how did you approach it?
Moddy said to me before I went out, just play straight, get yourself in. So that was my initial plan. And then, the wicket was playing a little bit trickier than we initially thought. And to be honest, the innings I was in two minds, whether I just try and keep the run rate as close as possible or whether I try and get a big over. So I was in two minds for a lot of the innings, but luckily it came off in the end.
Does it wake you up a bit when you're sitting on the bench and you see a ball like the one that got Alyssa come out of the box, second delivery? Yeah,
pretty special delivery, that one. We all stopped, turned around and watched it about 4 times. It probably isn't a good idea when you keep watching it on repeat, but yeah, pretty special ball, that one.
How much were you thinking, I guess when you went out there, and as Beth was out there obviously as well, how much were you thinking about 2 weeks ago and the way you sort of turned things around that night?
One of the first things that Moon said to me was, it's a lot easier position than we were in that 50 over game. So, when she put it like that, it was a really, at that stage, it was only a runner ball, and it seemed a lot, we were making it a lot harder than it seemed. So, just back to basics, getting myself in and then going from there.
Is it a lot easier to do it second time around when you've got that sort of one under the belt?
I definitely took some confidence from that from the ODI series, and then even some big bash games in the past. So definitely some confidence from that, and then just sticking to my basics, sticking to my strengths, and lucky it came off.
You've sort of been super consistent across the whole series now. Every time you've got a chance with the bat, you've made runs. How pleasing is that for you, and is that the product of what, hard work, or talk us through sort of how you've come to this point, I guess?
I've just loved to be able to string a few games for Australia together. I've been in and out of the side over the last 5 or so years, so first and foremost, just to be able to play back-to-back games and contribute to the team's success has been really special for me, and it's been an unbelievable series so far. Pretty close games, and I'm just loving every minute of it so far.
Will you guys be able to stay focused for tomorrow night?
Yeah, one more job ahead. We'll get the job done and then enjoy a bit of each other's company before we depart separate ways to get the Big Bash underway.
Jason, do you want to jump in?
No worries, thanks Lucy. Hey Tahlia. There was some great bowling efforts and fielding efforts from Australia, desperation on the road, catches, stumpings, run-outs. How did you see sort of the defensive efforts from the team as a whole, and how much that helped limit India from inflicting too much damage, sort of, especially up until that sort of 15th, 16th over, and how that was different from game 1 as well?
Our bowlers certainly set the tone, especially Tay taking the big wickets up front, both openers. So bowlers did a really good job, and then fielders backed them up. There were some really good dives at the boundary, a couple of run-outs. So our fielding's been lacking a bit in the series, so it was really nice to put a clean performance together tonight.
Gamesh?
Hi, McGrath. Congratulations on the win. Well played. I have a couple of questions. First, can you talk about your time when you were out of the Australian side and what fueled your comeback? And second, what is your mindset generally when you're going out to bat in a chase?
It was pretty hard getting a taste of international cricket and then being on the outer for a while. Getting that initial taste made me that hungry to get back to the biggest stage. So for me it was getting back to state cricket, working as hard as I could and trying to contribute to both the Scorpions and the Strikers where I could. And I mean, the Aussie team is the best side in the world, so it's a very hard side to crack into, and I knew that once I got my chance I would have to take it with both hands. So loving how it's going at the moment and loving being part of the team. In terms of the run chase, it was just keeping it really simple. It's just backing my strengths really. My game is getting on the front foot, playing straight, and that's got me into the innings, got my confidence from there, and then working with my partner at the other end. So pretty nice run chase tonight, and very special to wrap up the series.
Andrew McGlashan?
Thank you.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Tahlia. I know I think from memory you were a bit frustrated you couldn't see the ODI home or a bit closer to the end with Beth. So how pleasing was it, and how important did you think it was that you were there to the end of this game tonight?
Yeah, I was definitely disappointed when I got out in that second ODI and not to be there at the end. And that's something we speak a lot about in this side, and Moddy's pretty big on it, that the set batter has got to be there, not out at the end. So it's a pretty big non-negotiable in our team, and when you're in and set, you've got to stick your hand up and be there at the end. So that was really important for me today, and yeah, I didn't want to leave the job undone. So very happy with how it played out.
Thanks, Talia.
Carly, do you want to jump in?
Yes, sorry, hi. Talia, just a quick one. It's been a few games since you didn't have a bowl in the game. Did you know that it was the plan that you weren't going to bowl, or are you disappointed that you didn't have a bowl?
I had a fair idea. There was sort of 8 bowlers in the 11 today, and when you look at around, that everyone that Meg threw the ball to did their job. So yeah, I'm happy as long as I'm in the 11, just contributing wherever I can. And today my role was at number 6, so it was really important that I took that opportunity. So yeah, for me, being an all-rounder, I suppose, while I'd love to be doing both, I'll just do whatever the team requires.
Great, thanks.
And last one from you, Snehal.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Talia. Well played today. You mentioned a few Big Bash games to kind of prepare you for knocks like this very early in your career. Can you talk us through which games in particular can really, set you up for a situation like this at international level? And just along those lines, how exciting is it to have so many Indians in the Big Bash this year?
Yeah, just straight off with the Indians, it's super exciting to have them in the league. They're very special cricketers and bring a lot of excitement to the game. So we've had a few years without Indian players, so it's really exciting to have them this year. Unfortunately, there's none at the strikers, but maybe in years to come we'll entice a few to come over and play for us. Yeah, Big Bash, I mean, what are we up to now? Big Bash 7, so hard to pinpoint a couple of innings. I suppose every time you go out in the middle, you're playing against the best players in the world. So it's just taking confidence from that. And even my time over in England in the KSL, learnt a lot from that experience. So yeah, hard to pinpoint particular innings, but just drawing on, I mean, while I haven't played a lot of cricket at international level, I played a lot of cricket. So just, yeah, backing myself, and that experience is pretty valuable.